I would go to the gym every single day. I would train with great guys, helpers like Greg McIntyre or Raul Arvizu, who is the head coach and who founded Entrum, which is in Tijuana. And that's where Brandon Moreno, UFC champion, came from. Those guys were my two mentors when Dean was gone. I would look up to Raul and Greg. They would help me out so much. They would kick my butt, but also help me out. And then Brandon also, as far as striking and wrestling, he was amazing. Great coach. And then I just knew I wanted to start fighting MMA. And so with about maybe 2 or 3 months of training, I guess 4 months of training, because I did train at Fabio Santos for like about 3 weeks before I realized, hey, where did everybody go? And then I followed him over to City Boxing. So about like 4 months of training, I asked to fight my first MMA fight. I asked, the manager if he could put me on the list, because I want to fight already. And they said, oh, yeah, we have this show coming up. It's called Total Combat. And we'll put you down. I think you're good enough. You can have your first fight. So I was like, I went ahead and went full force with that. Started training. The fight was about a month out, I think it was. So my makeshift training camp with my two coaches, obviously, who I looked up to, was my two main head coaches was Dean for jiu-jitsu and MMA, and then Brandon also for striking and MMA. And then leading up to that first MMA fight, it was probably the scariest, but I was so motivated to go and get it out of the way with and go and fight somebody else, in a cage, that I couldn't stop. I loved it. I became obsessed with it. Every day I would train twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, and then, I remember Total Combat was so disorganized. It was crazy. I went to the weigh-ins to go weigh in for the day before my fight. My opponent wasn't even there. So I didn't even know if I was going to fight or not. And then they told me his name was Cub Swanson. And I was like, Cub Swanson, what a dork. Like, who would name their, Cub, right? And then I found out his name was actually Kevin, and that was his nickname, was Cub. And this guy was like a terror out there in Indio or Palm Springs, wherever he was from. And then I'm like, oh, okay, great. So I'm fighting this guy, the super tough guy, but he didn't even make it to weigh-ins, so I don't even know if he's going to make it to the fight. So this fight took place in Tijuana, because MMA wasn't sanctioned yet back then in 2004. It wasn't sanctioned in the state of California. So we had to go fight in Mexico, and I still didn't know who my opponent was, what he looked like. I knew his name. So I remember Herb Dean got all of us together at the rules meeting, and it was in some nightclub in Mexico, so we had to sell our own tickets. And I remember I sold probably close to about 200 tickets.
Damn.
Out of all my friends. Yeah, because Hilltop and TJ are so close to each other. So a bunch of my friends from high school, I have a huge family as it is. I have a lot of friends, they all bought tickets from me. So I probably gave this promoter, I don't know, close to, I don't even know how much it was, but I gave him all the money for the tickets. I remember finally, by the time I finally saw my opponent, he was standing across the cage from me, and he was all tatted up, and I was super scared, and he was jumping around, and I see Herb Dean in the middle, and then I'm like, okay, here we go. This is my first fight. Here we go. And honestly, it was just like, I was just in the zone, to be honest. Like
flow state?
Flow state, for sure. And before I even realized what that was, I think all the skating that I used to do back before, when I was a teenager, like 14, 15 years old, I was a pro skater. It was not skateboarder, professional aggressive inline skating. So it was rollerblades, right? But I was sponsored, and we would go. I had my, anyways, I did that, all that, and I skated in competitions beforehand. So I got used to like people looking at me and, it's your time to go. Here's the show, so all that nervous energy I was able to kind of deal with. I had already done that before. I had that experience. So I think that helped me definitely for this fight, because I was in the zone, and I'm staring at him across the cage. The Herb Dean says, go ahead and fight. We go out there, and there was some small exchange, and then all I realize is like I'm on his back and I have his neck. So I knew to just start choking him, and luckily the fight was over pretty quickly in the first round. It was good, amazing, great feeling, euphoria after you win a fight. You put that much, time and effort, and you visualize it, and it happened, and everything went well and great. And it was a great experience. It was amazing. My dad was there. My brothers were there, so that was fun. It was just, it's an addiction after that.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip. If you like content like this, go to the description below. The full video should be there. And do not forget to like and subscribe. 97% of the people that watch this channel are unsubscribed. So please hit that subscribe button. It does a lot for the channel, and it gives you more content like this. Have a good one.